This video is sponsored by the very useful NordPass. Remember the days when toughness, strength and balls out masculinity could be enjoyed and celebrated? And it wasn't just the men that got to punch and kill things, women also got to be badass mofos. It was fun and games for everyone. You could escape reality watching some dude with a physique you would never have punch people through walls. It was awesome. Well, those times have changed. And it's all spoilers from here.
Kids, get the popcorn now. Let me tell you the story of the space Viking.
Oh, hey, bro. That's Takey Wikiti Itty. That's the guy who does the voice of Korg. You know, the funny sidekick rock dude. He steps into one of the lead roles in Thor and Love and Thunder. This dude's also the guy who wrote and directed Love and Thunder, a movie that teaches us, bro, that masculinity qualities are really dumb. Unless they're expressed by a woman, then these qualities are really cool. We also learn on this journey that some gay stereotypes are very funny, as long as those gay people are men. And we also learn that gay women are always hot because Hollywood likes to make a song and dance about being inclusive. They just have to make sure that the gayness is kept to scenes that men and teenage boys can still enjoy. They also have to make sure that those gay scenes can easily be removed for the silly Chinese market. You see, there are stupid governments that don't like the gays, but Hollywood is built on greed. And profit will always come before people, no matter how inclusive you want to tell the world you are. So bro, on this journey, don't expect to see any gayness in scenes that are important to the story. That makes it way too hard to edit out later.
I'm counting on that.
Yes! Hollywood, oh, that's better. Hollywood are continuing to do what they do best, talking the big talk while actually caring very little about the people they are championing.
Like an opportunity to show without it, being, heavy-handed or making too loud of a deal. It was sort of a part of the whole experience was to see a same-sex couple.
And surprisingly, for all the Hollywood talk and fascination with sex and kids films, they decided to stay clear of the ancient Greek tradition of man-boy love. Zeus is as straight as an arrow, and they shouldn't have worried if they did want Zeus to be a dick swinging, giving it to everyone Greek god, because this wouldn't have been Russell Crowe's first rodeo.
You've done it with girls.
But we all know Hollywood are stuck between their grandstanding virtue signalling and greed. Hot lesbians and gay rock creatures are way more easy to sell. And because the rock creature Korg is supposedly male, you could do the big mustachioed Dwayne Gay cliche. They went so far back for that joke, I'm surprised they didn't have Korg and his partner meet at the Blue Oyster Bar. But there's just one problem with this. Is Korg really gay? Well, no he's not. Because you see, it's a bit hard to be gay when your species doesn't have genders or genitals. Those Hollywood studio bastards figured out a way to get the gay tick of approval by having the male gay character be a genderless rock creature. And they got to use a worn-out joke from the 80s. They're fucking geniuses, I tell ya.
I did it.
And it worked. The shill media loved it. We're getting articles celebrating Korg's coming from a big gay family. Trouble is, that's not gay, you dumb fucks. For a start, Korg isn't taking anywhere near enough drugs, nor is he spending half his time fucking.
That kid on the TV just called me a dickhead again.
But that doesn't stop the director giving himself the old reach around and telling everyone what a great job he did with Korg and how much of a hero he is to the gay community.
It's really, in this day and age, it's a really beautiful story. And
I agree.
I'm surprised he thinks he's such a modern pioneer when he stole the idea from a TV show that aired back in 2017.
Female baby born to a member of an all-male species.
I'd say that I condone theft, but it got me to where I am now.
In the first season of The Orville, episode 2 and 3 to be precise, one of the main characters, a male, has a child with his husband. The two-dad relationship is just treated as a fact in the story. Unlike Korg's relationship, that's only there for a punchline, the Orville story goes beyond token inclusion and delves into gender identity in an interesting and thoughtful way.
When we first met, I did not know. My parents had the procedure done on Mockless soon after I was born.
And when did you find out?
It's so weird. The creators of The Orville seem to put trying to write a good and interesting story ahead of opportunistic tokenism. It's as if they respect the intelligence of their audience. We can't have that. No wonder we keep hearing talk about The Orville getting cancelled.
Having a vagina doesn't give you a lisp. I mean, depending on how you use it.
But the bit that really fucks my chicken is that this director is too old to pretend he's some gay representing pioneer. Fucking Xena was made in the 90s.
Is it too hot? No, it's just right.
And it was made in his home country of New Zealand. Christ, the show Soap was breaking stereotypes with Billy Crystal's character Jodie Dellis in the 70s.
You're too good in sports.
Danny, that has nothing to do with it.
You're not gay.
I am. And it shouldn't make any difference. And if it does and you don't love me now because of it, then you've never loved me at all.
The only people that seem to have hang-ups about it are all working in Hollywood and the Australian Football League, but that's another story. Most people could not give two flying fucks if someone is gay, female, black, Asian, or worst of all, a white male.
Whose balls did I have to fondle to get my very own movie?
They just want good bloody stories. Hollywood is the only industry obsessed with dividing its customers up into separate groups.
I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time.
It's obsessed with pretending that we haven't grown as a society since the fucking 70s.
Friends?
Are you kidding? Not only are you gay, you're a jerk.
In this day and age, it's a really beautiful story. And
I agree.
And they shove it under the banner of inclusion just to protect their profits. So yeah, my New Zealand friend, I'm not exactly sure gay people will be celebrating you representing them with a dickless, vaginalist rock creature that has no gender.
Yes, dude. How gay is the film?
So gay.
Anyway, let's not worry about the gayness of characters and talk about the ancient Greeks and our god Zeus. A quick break to thank the very useful NordPass. Do you sometimes feel like you have to be some type of computer hacker just to log into your favourite websites or apps? All because you can't remember that super complex password you set up? Or find that piece of paper you wrote your password down on? Do what I do and avoid the frustration and save time by using NordPass to automatically log into all your favourite websites and apps quickly and easily.
Unbelievable.
Sign up for an account and NordPass will remember all of your passwords for you. There is even an option to let NordPass choose the passwords, which is definitely more secure than just using your pet's name.
We're talking about cybersecurity today and how safe people's passwords are. What is one of your online passwords currently?
It is my dog's name.
And what's its name?
Jameson. It's like my cat's name.
And what's her name?
Her name is Jolie.
Shop online with ease with NordPass's amazing one-click password autofill feature. You can even use NordPass to safely share your passwords for those long-distance Netflix and chill nights.
Excellent.
And NordPass is running a special NordPass Robot Head deal that also includes one additional month for free. Go to nordpass.com/robothead to see the deal or use the code ROBOTHEAD at checkout. So sign up at NordPass and sleep soundly at night knowing you'll never have to remember a password ever again. Now, what are the Hollywood rules for performing a different culture these days? Because I just can't keep up. Now, John Wayne playing Genghis Khan set the bar pretty high.
Not so, fine gazelle.
And Mickey Rooney's The Asian Artist is also legendary.
We're in.
We had Hank Azaria quit playing Apu under the social pressure of him being seen as a racist.
Come on, aren't you afraid of my watermelonness?
Your what?
But in this film, we get Russell Crowe coming out doing the best Greek caricature we've seen since Con the Fruiterer.
Bros is a puffy knife.
And no one gives a shit. I'm so amazing. That's my second Con the Fruiterer joke this year. A character no one knows outside of Australia. That has to be good for views. But I'll let you in on a secret. He's actually part of what we call in Australia the holy trinity of famous characters. It's Max Rockatansky, Mick Dundee, and Con the Fruiterer. But I say good luck to the weirdos who in a few years are going to try and cancel Russell Crowe because he just doesn't give a fuck what anyone thinks. I can tell you now, he didn't grow that beard and get fat for the part. That's his lifestyle now. He's only taken movies where he can look that way. That's why we love him and stole him from New Zealand. He fits in better here. And New Zealand neighbours are just a bit too stylish. So I'm a bit disappointed with our New Zealand director here. I've liked him since seeing him in the film Boy, another film he wrote and directed and acted in. And his other claim to fame, he seemed to be able to pull off the mythical and often dreamt of menage a trois without ruining his life and ending up broke, a feat no other man has ever pulled off successfully, though many have tried. Well, they've at least tried to talk their missus into it. All this women's champion had to do to live out his dream was just leave his wife and 2 daughters. You're welcome, ladies.
This is the best day of my life!
But this film lets you know that once rebel director has fallen in line with Hollywood's virtual signalling over substance ways, hook, line and sinker.
Not me. What? Just listening.
Thor started off being played fairly straight.
It's a good look. luck.
Until someone at the studios realised Chris Hemsworth could deliver a pretty funny line, which was good. The crossing the line into taking a joke a bit too far started with Fat Thor, one of the many weird decisions that was included in the climax of a 20-film journey. We'll also include Always On Hulk and time travel in that list of Endgame disappointments. And speaking of Endgame and this shit film, why the fuck would the new Asgard in this film have a Thanos-themed ice cream store? How many cones had the director pulled when he came up with that idea? And he kept that drug-induced idea all the way up to the finished film. They may as well have a Hitler-themed restaurant in town. And one more thing while I'm sidetracked on this stupid slapstick version of a once sort of serious universe.
What did you do? I went for that.
A theme park. We have real gods living amongst us dumb humans, and the only use the world has for their magical boat-flying powers is running a crappy amusement park town for tourists. That would be an awkward conversation to have with some drought-stricken nation dealing with starvation. The magical Vikings can't help feed your starving people. They have ice creams and merch to sell. Sort of sounds like America. Just joking. I'm not joking.
Let me tell you something about America. Nobody likes a smart ass, all right?
Now, quickly before I lose all my American viewers who I love so much and will need when Australia gets invaded by, this film hates men. And I don't mean the normal version of weirdness we see where women are elevated to superhuman strength and power for no reason at all by writers and directors who never got over hating the popular guys at school who got all the finger blasting action.
I'm not kissing a nerd.
You have to. I paid my money. Kiss this, nerd.
The directors always have very soft hands and spent their youth watching shit like Bjork's Dancer in the Dark, hoping to impress the young feminist activists at school and maybe get a glimpse of their untamed monster bush that's been hibernating under several layers of unflattering sweaty black clothing for years. No, I don't mean that sort of hate, what we have come to expect these days. See, this film's different. Every single male character in Thor Love and Thunder ranges from autism to complete retardation. Goodbye cheeky Thor fighting demons from the pits of hell. Hello broom riding Thor who seems to be fighting creatures from Fraggle Rock. And if you don't know Fraggle Rock, I'm sorry, I don't have time to explain the Fraggle Rock lore. To say Thor is now a fucking moron would be an insult to morons. Where once Drax was a standout for how dumb he was with his simple violet ways, that obviously made him lovable, now he doesn't stand out at all. He's just another one of the guys.
Yeah, right.
And on top of that, if a male character isn't a dribbling fool, then they are completely selfish bastards. Zeus doesn't want to help. Star-Lord, Drax, Groot, Rocket, this guy don't give a fuck about ditching Thor. And Thor is annoyed by all the kids he's meant to be helping. The poor kids that are living a nightmare with a guy pulling off monster snake heads.
That's what she said.
The only exception to all these idiot men is our villain, who is fantastic, underused, and should have been in a different movie. You see, as long as you're evil and not too bulked up, you don't have to be stupid. You're no longer a threat to the director's masculinity.
Should we help him? And eventually. Great.
And we haven't even got to the highlight yet, the need for our little New Zealand friend here to completely climb up inside Hollywood's ass and wear it like a human skin onesie, has him just give not only Thor's powers and costume to Natalie Portman, but he gives her even his name. Now first I'd like to make it clear, Natalie Portman could slap the balls off my face anytime she wanted. She makes this Aussie robot very happy. And obviously I'm talking about her in the Thor outfit and not the cancer version of Natalie. That version, not so good, doesn't do that much for me. But wait, hang on, before you get angry about me being disrespectful to this fine actor, don't worry, Cancer Natalie would still make it into the spank bank, unlike this erection killer. Now I don't really care that Thor's ex was getting Thor's powers. Fuck, we see the guy ride around on a broomstick, so do we really give a shit anymore? But I did expect to get some sort of effort put into the Jane is now a Thor story. Thor's Love and Thunder's main movie selling point, their big poster moment of Jane being Thor, was presented in what felt like a bad sitcom, which I think was done at some attempt at comedy. Yes, Thor, the god of thunder, built from myth and legend, can be just replaced with a rom-com setup. And even after that, Jane's story is paper thin. Cancer, magic powers, save the day, cancer, dead. And the other weird thing we learn about Thor's powers is that he can just grant them to other people. At one stage, he makes all the little children little Thor-killing machines, which made me wonder, if Thor can give his powers to anyone at any time, why doesn't he do that whenever there's an emergency? Why not when fighting Thanos? We could have had thousands of Thors to take on Thanos. Then they wouldn't have had to rely on Twig Arms here and the Mind Reader.
Don't worry. She's got help.
But that's stupid talk. Modern writers don't give a fuck about what's happened before in the story. That thinking's for losers.
I didn't print enough pamphlets, so hardly anyone turned up, except for my mum and her boyfriend, who I hate.
Yes, the guy who wrote the script about Korg's kind, all being male, also wrote a script where Korg talks about his mum. But fuck it.
Even start writing a Marvel movie. Like, do you have to be across all the
things that are happening in the other movies. What do, I try and ignore that.
It's a shame that shallow talent pool that is Hollywood keeps hiring people who think comedy means turning characters into morons and making everything an over-the-top slapstick and neon-coloured paper-thin story theme park ride that no one remembers 5 minutes after it's finished.
I said it was going to be like a relaxing holiday.
A lot of our modern classics were comedies, but they were also great stories that didn't shy away from also being serious or complex. Shit, Beverly Hills Cop has a mob execution at the centre of the story. And Back to the Future taught the world theories behind time travel.
Get the fuck out of here!
And we don't have to go back to the ancient world of the early 80s. Deadpool picked its lane and went for it, celebrating International Women's Day and everything. That was definitely for the adults. And the weirdo James Gunn has shown that he can balance comedy with good storytelling. And he's also very good at something that just used to be taken for granted in Hollywood. He's good at making films that contain levels of violence and humour suitable for the age group he's making a movie for. The same all-ages audience that enjoy Rocket and Groot's bloodless violence and cuteness might not be ready for the Suicide Squad's head-splitting violence. What fucking age group was our little New Zealand friend here aiming for? 1 minute we have Thor fighting the Muppets doing jokes that only a 6-year-old wouldn't have seen 1,000 times. Hey look, the splits and screaming. Comedy gold. Then we're doing a 5-minute orgy joke. Laugh it up, kids. Zeus is going to fuck everyone. I always like to think of the parents, because every trip home from a kids' film these days must be a parent minefield. They haven't got to the birds and the bees talk with their kids yet, and Hollywood's jumping the kids straight to orgy talk.
Mama, what's an orgy? I'm going to Google orgy. I'm also going to Google 2 dads make a baby.
It's a really beautiful story. And
I agree.
Where are we going to hold this year's orgy?
And my son didn't notice.
You cannot come to the orgy.
Where we want to be.
Exactly.
Where nobody notices.
Because you are this close to being uninvited to the orgy.
So at the end of this fine film, Jane has a massive statue, like all women deserve, and Thor is now a single mum to a kid he doesn't even know. There is no winning the day and the girl for the modern male hero.
No chance.
Thor's reward for saving the universe is making breakfast in an apron.
Wrong.
Kids used to leave the cinema dreaming of being Han Solo, flying around the galaxy with Chewie. A lot would have wanted to be Axel Foley or Batman.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Now the Hollywood studios who hate tough men want to convince boys they should walk out of cinemas dreaming of being their mothers. Future's fucked. Well, look at the bright side. Can't get much worse than this.
You're wrong.
Thor Love and Thunder director wants to make a low-budget Thor movie with no fighting. Awesome. I can't wait to watch Driving Miss Thor.
No, right. Turn right.
Good God. All gods will die. Jane?
Superman! Enjoy it!